that allows us to go after the things we want, to create the lives that we desire. That power is your power of choice. Because I don't care how you try to justify things, how you try to rationalize things, how you try to spin things. It all boils down to this. The majority of the things in our lives are there because of the choices we make. The majority of the things in our lives are there. I said majority, I didn't say everything. Because you have to understand, because life has changed, there are going to be some things that you will not be able to control. But too many people go through their entire lives believing that there is some sort of mythical man, or there's some sort of pressure from the outside that is keeping them from getting what they want. But in reality, all they have to do is take a look in the mirror and see who's truly responsible for the life that they're living. Our power of choice is so amazing because it's through our choices that we get to create the life that we live. Does that mean that every choice you make is going to be perfect? Of course not. We're human beings. But the biggest difference between people who go on to be successful in their life, whatever it is they desire to do, is they take responsibility for their choices. They deal with the consequences, they learn from them, and they move forward and avoid making the same mistakes again and again and again. When I was in elementary school, somebody came to school one day, they had some of those little Smartie candies, those little sweet tart things, and we're sitting at lunch, and somebody goes, "Hey, I got a great idea. Let's crush these up into a fine powder and then snort them up our nose." And of course, in third grade, this is genius. So I'm like, "Yeah, my friend's the one doing it." We're all egging him on. We're like, "Yeah, dude, go, 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 go." And he's like, it takes less than half a second for him to fall off the end of the table, start withering around the floor in pain. His tears are pouring out of his eyes. And you would think as a rational human being, you would be like, "I'm not going to do that." When I'm in elementary school, I'm like, "Cool. But I can tell you this much, I've never snorted Smarties up my nose since. Pixie Sticks maybe, but not Smarties. No, not Pixie Sticks either. No, you learn from the choices that you make. That's part of life. Nobody goes through life and doesn't make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But the biggest difference, again, is taking responsibility for your mistakes, learning from them, dealing with them, and moving forward. And the other amazing thing that we have as human beings is we not only have the ability to learn from our own experiences, but we have the ability to learn from other people's experiences too. It's so important to meet other people, to talk with other people, to network with other people, because more times than not, the problems that we are facing, the issues that we're dealing with, there are other people that are dealing with those issues too. It never ceases to amaze me how many times in life we can watch somebody do something, see what happens, see that it's a bad reaction, and then follow right behind them and do the exact same thing. And you've all done it at least once in your life, because you've been at your own house, somebody else's house, they open up the refrigerator, they pull out a carton of milk, a thing of food, they open it up and they go, "Oh wow, this is going bad." And then they look at you and they go, "Here, smell it." And you go, "Oh wow, you're right." Like you saw the nastiness burn their nose hairs on the way up. And for whatever reason you thought maybe by osmosis it wouldn't smell as bad when it got to you. You watch somebody do that, and then you walk right behind them and did the exact same thing. Because sometimes we forget that we still get to make choices no matter what. Our lives are created by the choices that we make. And that is an amazingly empowering thought. And for a lot of people, it's an extremely scary thought. Because once you recognize your power of choice, once you figure that out, once you understand that, you are now responsible for your own life. But see, most people like to play the blame game. Well, it's not my fault. It's that person's fault. Or it's this fault. Or it's that fault. Or this and that and this and that and that and this. Nobody has a perfect life. I'm not saying that you have a perfect life. But it's so easy to play that poor me card. It's so easy to sit back and look at all the things that have happened in our lives and blame where we are on all those different things. Are you going to have difficulties in life? Of course, everyone faces difficulties. But again, as long as you remember that power of choice, it's amazing